Hey, what's up you guys? Kara here. So, in this video, I just wanted to, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, this is my coming out video. So, for those of you who don't know, I am in my late 20s right now. I'm actually almost 30, but I've actually been out of the closet for about 10 years. I've always known that I was gay when I was a little kid because I've always had this attraction towards other boys. Well, like most people, I didn't really express that very well, but now that I think of it, is that I actually did tend to act more girlyish as a kid as I got older. So I guess I'm pretty sure it was evident to other people, but then they just didn't want to probably me consider mean or whatever, just to say, hey, you know what, I think you're kind of this way. But I do have a strong feeling that a lot of people knew. So it is a very hard topic to discuss because even though times have changed, it's becoming to be more acceptable nowadays. But back then, which I want to say was about mid to late 90s, it was a little different back then. Not that many people were accepting of it. It was seen more of as a joke or a sign of weakness. But that's just how it was back then. For those of you who are close to my age, maybe older, and for those of you who are possibly younger, so let's just keep that in mind, that it was times are very different back then. So as I said before, I knew that I was gay at such a young age because of just that attraction towards the same sex or the same gender. But I've been closeted for so long that as I continue to get older, those attractions just started getting, I guess, stronger as well. So, it's like by high school came, I had all of these crushes, and I was one of those people that whenever a friend of mine would ask, who do you have a crush on, or if you were to take so and so to the date, I would name off a girl and they'd be like, oh yeah man, she's totally hot. At the time it was comical because like I was really kidding myself, and I was just such a closet case. It wasn't until my senior year that I finally just said I can't pretty much live a lie anymore. It was so hard pretending to be someone else when all I wanted to do was just come out and just be who I was. But like I said, it was so hard because I was afraid that I was going to get ridiculed, I was going to get bullied or picked on. Or one of the scariest things at the time was I didn't want people to see me differently. I wanted them to see me as the same person, but who just liked people of the same gender. So the first people I came out to were a few of my closest friends in my senior year. One night I just said, hey guys, it was like two of my roommates at the time. I just told them, hey guys, I need to tell you something. I can't keep holding it back. And I just said, we were sitting there in the dark because it was nighttime. And I just said, I don't know how else to say this, but I'm gay. And my two friends at the time, they just looked at each other like, and I'm gay, like what else do you guys want me to say? And they're all like, Carrie, we already knew this. So that was a really big relief, just knowing that they were already supportive. They already had their suspicions of me. First question that almost every person always asks me is, so who do you have a crush on? And then I came out to one of my closest friends. She's actually one of my oldest friends I've ever had since second grade. Long story short, she already knew too, and she was very glad that I had the courage to do it. And then she told me I was one of the bravest people in the whole world because I was doing something that not that many people are able to do, because sometimes it is hard to be yourself. It really is. And after that, I felt so relieved because there were at least 3 people who knew about my true self. Literally, it does feel like a weight is just lifted off your shoulders and you can actually breathe. My next thing that I wanted to do was I had to figure out how to come to my own family. So it wasn't until about my freshman year in college I bought this book at a bookstore. It was pretty much just how to come out to your family, friends, co-workers, and whatnot. It talked about how to appropriately and properly come out to family members, and one section says it's usually best to come out to somebody after a major holiday. But the first thing that I had to do was I had to accept it for myself. Even though I did came out to my friends in my senior year, college was a little different. So again, I didn't know anybody at the college I went to. I just pretty much went back into that closet. According to the book, it just says make sure you're ready first, that you've accepted it. It's you knowing that you're okay with it and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not considered a sin or a disease or all these negative terms that usually comes with people being gay. So in the book it stated that it's best to come out to people, especially family members, after a major holiday. I told myself, alright, I'm gonna come out to my parents the day after Thanksgiving, which is Black Friday. But that whole time I was so nervous. I was like literally on edge Thanksgiving morning because I just kept thinking to myself, okay, I gave myself a goal. I told myself what I have to do. So the very next day, Black Friday, I actually mustered up the courage. I brought in both my parents were there, my mom and dad, as well as my aunt and my uncle from my mom's side. Unfortunately, my uncle passed away a few years ago, but I was just glad that he was there to share that remarkable moment. So I called my parents up. I sat them down at the table. I just said, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. But first, I just want you to know that I thought deep and hard about this. There's no way around it. I'm tired of living a lie, and it's not fair to myself. It's not fair to you guys. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm gay. And at that moment, my mom burst into tears, but she literally just held out her arms and just said, come here. She gave me one of the most biggest and one of the best hugs I've ever had in my whole life. Literally, this hug felt like it almost took 30 minutes. She was just there holding me and crying, and I just started to cry, and then she just kept saying, no matter what, son, I still love you, and that's never ever going to change. It was one of the most touching moments I've ever had. Just knowing that your mom and whoever just embraces you for who you are, and they tell you that their love for you is never going to change no matter what. My dad at the time I could tell he was a little shocked, but he still gave me a hug and just said, son, I love you too. From that moment on, I just felt an even bigger weight lifted off my shoulders. And then my aunt and my uncle were right there. They came up to me and they gave me hugs. My aunt was also in tears. I felt so relaxed, like I could just literally feel like I could tell anybody. It was the following year that I didn't actually come out to my other siblings. I first came out to my twin brother, and just like everybody else, he just said, at least you finally came out and you're okay with it. I wasn't sure about how I was going to tell my older siblings. I already knew right off the bat my sister would be fine with it. The hardest person I think I would ever have to tell is my oldest brother. The reason why I say he was the hardest is because he wasn't at the time really accepting of homosexual people. You know, he was always making jokes about gay people. At the time when I was a kid, I would go along with it too and be like, oh yeah, like, stupid faggot. I already knew that for him it could have been an issue if I had told him separate or by himself. I might as well tell my older siblings while they're together. But as we were getting older, most of us, as most siblings do, we kind of drifted apart, which was one of the toughest things as growing up as a young adult. I was with my oldest brother, and we had to go pick up my sister from her apartment, and we had to drop her off with some friends. Immediately, right there, I knew that was the perfect opportunity to finally come out to both of them. As we're making our way to my sister's event, I just told them, I said, hey, you guys, I have something to tell you. I'm gay. And just like everybody's reaction, my sister was like, oh, Carrie, I already knew all that. You're still my little brother, I will still love you, and blah, 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 just like everybody else said. But the one reaction I was waiting for was my older brother. I didn't know how he would take it. A big shock to me was that my brother just said, hey, Carrie, I'm very glad you were able to come out to me and your sister. Right now, all I can think of is you're one of the bravest people I know at this very moment. As I was there driving, I really didn't know how to react. I was just trying so hard to focus on the road and then focus on my brother and sister. That was a big shock to me. Just my eldest brother saying I was one of the bravest people he ever knew at that very moment. I was very much surprised. Very, very surprised. For me, I think when I came out to my immediate family, like my mom, dad, and all my siblings, it felt like I could tell anybody in the whole world and I just wouldn't give a damn. As soon as I did that, I started coming out to my cousins, I started coming out to other friends, and then I started coming out to my co-workers, and eventually, just this past year, I actually came out to a lot of my students. Everybody has been very accepting, and they didn't treat me any different. A lot of them like to tease me now, which I'm okay with. You know, they're always asking, like, if a cute guy walks by, they always have to ask, was that guy cute? It's just been a very big roller coaster, but I'm very proud to say that I do have a very loving and accepting family as well as friends. And I know that not that many people, especially those who are coming to terms with their sexuality, might not have that luxury. You never know, like, those people that you think might have an issue with it might not have an issue with it at all. So there you guys have it. That is pretty much my coming out story. Truthfully, I think that coming out to people is going to be a life process. You're always going to meet people who don't know a lot about you until you allow yourself to express who you are to them. Just know that you have to be okay with it first before other people can accept it. If anything else, just make sure that you are ready to come out and you're ready for that process, and that you understand it and you're accepting of it. And then you can only determine when you're ready to come out to other people. So I hope you guys like this video. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, share, comment below. If you guys have any questions or anything, I'd love to hear them. And if you would like additional tips on what I did again, I'm pretty sure there are thousands of other tips you can find online for free. So feel free to go there. But I'm just glad that I was able to share my story with you. And I hope that it at least inspired you to think about maybe if you are questioning, or if you're still in doubt, or if you know anybody, just know that it really does get better. It really, really does. I know it's like one of the biggest cliches out there, but it really does get better, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. And always remember to be cool, stay cool, and rock on. See you guys.